In our last video, we looked at how to identify missing values in our data in Excel. Today we'll be looking at how to handle those missing values. So without wasting more of our time, let's just dive straight into how to handle these missing values.
Okay, so there are ways that you can use to handle missing data or empty cells in your data. One of the ways to do that is to manually enter the data if the data is known. So if looking at this data here, if I know that the amount Bob Johnson used in purchasing what he purchased was 200, I don't need to start looking for. All I have to do is just put in the work and type in 200 myself, and just once the data is known, put in the work and type in those values yourself. So that's one of the ways you can handle missing details. Once it is known, fill it up yourself. Another way we can handle missing data is by filling those empty cells or those columns that should contain those values that are missing with some placeholders. By placeholders, I mean you find those empty cells and replace them with what you want to see there. So if I'm saying, okay, for those cells where we don't have values there or where values are missing, replace those empty cells, add not available to them. So all I have to do is just maybe for the whole, highlight the whole data in the table in the range here, then Control F, and I'm saying for every blank spaces here, blank spaces, just type in not available for every blank spaces. Don't type anything, you'll find what, but when you replace it, just put not available, then I would hit replace. So can you see all done? We made 22 replacements, and I'll cancel this. So I come back, I get to see that everywhere we have blank spaces has been filled with not available. You have not available here, you have not available here, you have not available here. Every blank space has been filled with not available. So anyone saying this data knows, okay, so the person that has worked on it, okay, he knows that we don't have anything here. It's not available because there's nothing there. Another way you can also replace empty cells with the value you want to see is by using some Excel functions, and that's a combination of the if and the ISBLANK functions. What do I mean? So let me Ctrl Z to go back to the original data that we have before now. So let's say I want to work with the let's say I want to work with the email column. So I want to say every cells that are empty there in that column for email should be replaced with email not available or just not available. So I'm going to be combining the if function and the ISBLANK function together to achieve that. All I have to do is start a formula with an equal to sign, the if. So the if now, then what is my logical test? What is the criteria? Is that for every blank cells, then this is what should happen. Blank cells. I'm just going to type in the formula. The function is blank, and the only argument it takes is the cell or the data you want to work with. So I want to work with the email column. So I'm selecting the first of the email column. I'll close my parenthesis, then comma. So the next argument, which is for the logical, for the if function. The first argument for it is this logical test that is blank. So you're saying any cell in email column that is blank, what should happen if it is true that we have some cells that are blank? Okay, just replace those empty cells with email not available. Email not available. Okay, so what if we don't have empty cells? What if it is false? Just return back the emails that are there before. Now close my parenthesis and hit enter. So we have this. So I'm going to fill down. So can you see? So for everywhere we have empty or blank spaces, you can see email not available. So what if I want to just copy this, everything here, and paste it on this in this column here? All I have to do is just copy, Ctrl Shift downwards, then Ctrl C. Where do I want to paste it? I've copied it now using Ctrl C to copy. Then come here, select the first cell here. Then in my home tab, inside the clipboard group, I'll click on the drop down button under paste. What I want to do, I want to paste specially. So paste special. Then what do you want to paste? I want to paste some value that I just copied from that other column. Select values. Now hit OK. So it replaces. Can you see now? We have it has copied everything here and pasted here. So I can now delete this. Delete. Can you see that how we combine the if and the ISBLANK function to achieve this? Another way you can also handle missing data, most especially when you're working with numerical, a column that contains numerical data, is to fill with the mean or the median to replace these blanks value accordingly. So what do I mean? So I know I'm working with this, I have millions of data, million rows of data, and we have a column that contains numerical data, just like amount here. So sort of, you don't know these values, you can't type them in manually because you don't know them. So the best way you can also do this is by finding the mean of the whole data here and replacing those empty cells with that mean or median. So let's say I'm working with mean, so I'm saying equal to, I want to find the average of all the data here excluding the blanks. So I can just type, you want to find mean, it's average, then this is column G. So if I'm highlighting everything, it means I'm highlighting including the blanks. So I don't want to highlight including the blanks, so I'm just going to do G colon G. So this is going to highlight all the cells in this column excluding the blanks. Close my parenthesis to find the average of all the values on this column excluding the blanks, and I'll hit OK. So you can see we have the average of all this here. So now what then do I want to do? I want to replace all the empty cells here with this average, this mean for the amount. So I'll just come here, still using the if now equal to, don't forget to start your formula, equal to what my logical test is for cells that are blank is blank. So what should happen to cells that are blank? Now I'm working with the amount column, close my parenthesis, then comma. So what should happen if the value is true? What should happen is that return this. If the value is true, if you have empty cells, return this mean in those cells. So I'm going to lock it, because if I don't lock it, it will keep moving down. Remember the cell reference in Excel, how that Excel works with the relative cell reference by default. So we have to lock this else to keep moving downwards. So comma. So what is the value if false? What should it return if it is false? If we don't have blanks there, still return the amount in that cell. If we don't have blanks in that cell. Then I'll close my parenthesis and I'll hit enter. Then let's fill down. So can you see that every places that we have? Now let's see what happens. So let's see. Can you see that every place that we have empty cells in this amount column, you can see we have the mean there. The mean has been filled. It could be median. It could be median that you use, it could be mean. So just since you can't find the amount purchased that is used in purchased, then just find the median or the average of the total amount in that column and use it to replace those empty cells. So how do I copy this into this place? I already showed us. All you have to do is just controls. You can just maybe Control Shift downward, then Control X, then come here, select this to be where you want it to be pasted. Come here, then here. Okay, so let's see. Now we are having errors. Now that's because we cut it off. So let's go back. So we'll treat all these errors when let me just copy it. Control Shift downwards, Control C, then I'm coming here to paste it. Select this, then come here, and I want to paste special, then values. Now hit OK. So can you see we have it here now, and I can delete this now. I don't need it anymore. So very simple and very, very easy. Another way you can do it is when you know that the missing values, the rows that contain these missing values are not rows that you need, or when you look at those missing values and you see that it won't affect your work, you don't need them, you can just delete the rows that contains those missing cells, those missing values or empty cells if you know you don't need them. So instead of stressing yourself to start looking for them, if you know you don't need them, just remove them from your data, and that would just solve the problem. So these are the ways you can handle missing values in your data on Microsoft Excel. Alright, that's all for this video. Let's do it to practice as usual. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.